立てるか?
Suzuha stepped out of the machine and beckoned to Kagari. Kagari looked surprised. Her eyes were narrowed at the bright sunlight. The sky above Tokyo in this time period was too dirty to be called blue. Smoke and dust clouds filled the who know what were rising from the rows of smokestacks. It all combined with black exhaust from the cars that scurried along the ground to create a smog so thick you could, literally see it. The sky above the city was covered by a veil of death. But still, it was the first clear sky that Kagari had ever seen. She'd only ever known from books and videos that the sky could be this bright. The nuclear weapons used during the Third World War had changed the weather over Tokyo, and their sky was constantly covered in dull gray clouds. The sun's light was always weak when it shone through them, and it was never this bright.
私が子供の頃はまだこんな感じの空だった。少しだけど覚えてるよ。
Suzuha looked at the sky too.
空気が美味しい。
In 2036, you needed a filter and a mask to go outside for any length of time. Compared to that, 1975 was a lot cleaner.
わかるだろ、かがり。父さんたちがどうして世界線の改変に全てをかけていたのか。世界線がどうとか、歴史がどうとか、そんな理屈は後でいい。今はただ、この空の色を守りたいと思えば。
Kairi slipped her hand into her pocket and took out the faded green Upa keychain. She stared at it with a sad look on her face. She was probably thinking about Mayuri, her mother. And she was probably trying to understand what it meant that her mother had put her inside the time machine. Suzuha decided that Kagari was alright now and closed the hatch on the time machine from the outside. The lock flipped on automatically. The only person who could open it now was Suzuha, whose biometrics had been loaded into the system ahead of time. Even if someone did find the machine, it would be a while before they found out what it was.
Kagari, これを見ろ。
Suzuha handed her a printout of a photo.
これ何?
It's the computer from the first game.
IBN5100 っていうレトロ PC だ。私たちの時代に存在していたものはどれも満足に動かない。けど、この時代なら感動品が入手できる。これを手分けして探すのが私とお前の最初のミッションだ。連絡はこれで。
She handed Kagari a small transceiver.
通信できる距離はかなり短いらしいから気休め程度だと思え。オーキードーキー。90分ごとにこのビルの前に集合。状況を確認。それを繰り返す。いいな。オーキードーキー。いい返事だ。
Suzuha nodded and patted Kagari on the head.
よし、ミッション開始。
And now we flash somewhere. I guess to nighttime. Suzuha was on top of the radio building in 2010 looking down.
35年か。
I guess to the past, to the present, to fucking time is getting all out of whack here. That's how long it had been in real time since she'd spoken to Kagari here. From her perspective, it had only been a few months. The view from up here had changed a lot since then, and then in the next 26 years, it would change even more. She'd seen for herself how this building changed over a span of 61 years. The thought didn't make her feel sentimental. Instead, she felt the loneliness and fear that comes from having a past not shared with anyone else. Using the time machine to change the world lines means breaking the rules of the universe. Rintaro Okabe's words flashed through her mind. Still, lately, she'd been thinking more about Kagari. She'd been searching the city at regular intervals. She was looking for Kagari Shina. She didn't even know if she was in Tokyo. She had no clues, She didn't even know what Kagari looked like now. So maybe it was a waste of time. So did she leave her in 76 and how she's like older? Which could perpetrate the theory that she is Makase's mom. Who knows with this fucking game? Even so, she had to find Kagari herself. But she hadn't had any better luck today. So she turned around and looked toward the time machine. She would come here every day. Her primary reason for coming was to see if her father, Ichiro Hashida, had been here. Anytime she let her guard down, he would come to try and examine it. She told him it would cause a time paradox, but he didn't listen. She needed to keep constant watch. To be honest, she had a lot of things she had to do. And then she heard the metal door to the roof open. Was it her dad? She squinted into the darkness, but the person she saw was much smaller than Itaru, and had cat ears coming out of their head. Ferris had a spring in her step as she approached Suzuha. Ferris's real name was Rumiho Akiha. She was Daru's friend and had helped him in many different ways in 2036. So Suzuha had known her ever since she was very young and had always called her Big Sis Rumi. For whatever reason, this era, she always wanted to be called Ferris, though. When Suzuha asked why, she simply responded, "Ferris is Ferris," an answer which meant nothing to Suzuha. Ferris showed her a cake box with the logo from the maid cafe where she worked, May Queen Nyan Squared. If he ate something like that at this hour, he'd get even fatter. Ferris grinned and nudged Suzuha in the side with her elbow. Ka-donk. It's a lot of sweets. Ferris opened the box and showed her what was inside. Suzuha could smell the sweet cream and fruit. Mouth is a Pokemon, not a mouth. Ferris laughed and handed her over the box. Here's some food that's about to expire. Here, you can have it. Ferris gave her a mischievous wink and looked up at the time machine beside them. Suzuha looked around the roof as she asked. It was solely thanks to Ferris that no one had really noticed the massive object on the roof. She was the heir to a rich family that had a lot of influence in this area and had contributed a lot to the development of Akihabara. She was helping to hide the time machine. Even though in 2010 VR games weren't really very or even at all prominent, still a good excuse, I guess. And I guess even back then you could get away with saying like, oh, we have this huge machine for VR, because don't think many people were expecting like tiny headsets to come down the pipe in a couple years. Maybe they were. I don't remember.
昔から、いや、今からしたら未来か。思ってたんだけどさ、ルミ姉さんの話って時々すごく難しくなるんだよね。一体何語？考えるんじゃない。感じるのにゃ。
Okay, Chie.
いいやいいや。寒いにゃ。フェイリスはお家に帰ろうかにゃ。
In the end, she never could get an answer. To Suzuha, Ferris was always a great mystery.
送っていくよ。一緒に出よう。にゃ、それじゃあついでにうちでご飯も食べてくといいにゃ。そういうつもりで言ったわけじゃないんだけど。どうせ普段大したもの食べてないにゃ。スズニャンのストイックさを見てると、フェイリスがなんとかしてあげにゃきゃーって思っちゃうにゃ。保護欲、母性、とにかくそういうのがかきたてられるのにゃ。私は大丈夫だから。
Before she finished her sentence, she felt someone looking at her. She glanced around.
にゃ、どうしたのにゃ。
She listened carefully. She definitely heard a very faint sound from the direction of the metal door that led to the stairs. It was small enough that Suzuha was only able to notice it because of her training.
誰かいる？にゃにゃ。多分話を聞かれた。
Most of the discussion was worthless, but they talked about the time machine a little. If someone heard that... Suzuha yanked her gun out of her jacket and in an instant ran towards the stairs as fast as she could. She heard someone running down the stairs as soon as she did. The sound-heavy military boots in a wide stride got further and further away. She opened up the door and jumped onto the landing. Then she raced down the stairs and skipping 3 steps with every stride. But still, it wasn't fast enough. Suzuha was born fast and she'd been trained to be faster, but it wasn't enough. When she finally made it to the 2nd floor, she could hear the loud revving of a motorcycle. Well, this isn't good. She panicked and slipped on an object that had been left halfway up the stairs, then rolled her way to the bottom. She managed to get into the right position to protect her head, so it was her hips that struck through the ground. Ow. She forced herself to stand up and run outside. She could see the taillights of a large motorcycle speeding away. The driver was wearing a black helmet and riding suit, and already a good distance away, so she couldn't tell if they were a man or a woman. They revved their engine loudly, as if to mock her, and they spun a corner and disappeared on the center street. A little later, Ferris caught up. She put the gun in her hands back in her jacket holster and brushed away hair that sweat stuck to her brow. Excuse me.
わからない。けど一般人じゃない。訓練されてると思う。訓練？階段に何か落ちてなかった？バッグが転がってたにゃ。ちょうど死角になる位置だった。多分わざと落としたんだよ。しかも私がそこを通るタイミングでエンジンを空ぶかしした。見事に引っかかったよ。